So over the weekend, we just had San Diego's Comic Con, where Marvel just showed us Phase 5 and Phase 6 and what we should expect coming into those phases. So in this video, we're going to be discussing everything that Marvel released on that Saturday. So during Comic Con, Marvel revealed a bunch of TV shows and movies what they're going to be doing in Phase 5, including Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Echo, Loki Season 2, The Marvels, Blade, Ironheart, Agatha Harkness Coven of Chaos, Daredevil Born Again, Captain America New Order, and the Thunderbolts. And we also got a glimpse into what Phase 6 is going to look like with the Fantastic Four and 2 new Avengers movies. And we officially got confirmation that Phase 4, 5 and 6 is going to be called the Multiverse Saga. Everything that we got from Phase 5 and Phase 6 seems like a very logical direction to take the MCU, as we had the Infinity Saga and we knew that this whole next bunch of phases were going to be about the multiverse. Having it known as the Multiverse Saga makes sense, and also with a bunch of the movies and TV shows that they have set up as well, you can also see them being set up in Phase 4 as well, with the likes of having a Captain America movie, having an Agnes spin-off, and a bunch more of other stuff. And with these announcements now, it looks like we have a bit more of a clarity of where the MCU wants to go with their Phase 4, Phase 5 and Phase 6. Compared to once before this, we didn't really know what was happening with Phase 4 and where it was going to lead to. And now we've got a path and a plan, and it makes a lot more sense and it's a lot more clearer. However, with us getting a new phase in Phase 5, that means the old one's ended in Phase 4. And we've only got 2 more projects left with She-Hulk and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And to my surprise, I'm actually quite shocked it's ending so quickly, and also not that shocked in a sense. And this is because it feels like, or it was literally only last year when Phase 4 started with WandaVision, with Black Widow. But since then, since the start of WandaVision, post the lockdown and post pandemic, we've got a lot of MCU content. And actually, even though it's been in the span of 2 years, we've got more Phase 4 content than we ever have of any Marvel phase before. And that's also a criticism of Phase 4 in the sense that we've had so much content, but it feels like we're just getting started because we didn't know where the direction of Phase 4 was going in. We've had so many starting and new beginnings again, in the sense of having Miss Marvel, having Moon Knight, having WandaVision, having all these other movies and TV shows. It felt like we're just having a lot of new origins again, with a couple of old characters coming back, like having the Thor movie. And it didn't know what direction we're going in, how it's all going to link together. And I see this phase get compared to Phase 1 a lot, as it is building and we're seeing a whole new set of characters. However, with Phase 1, it ended with the Avengers, so you can see we had the origins for all the different Avengers coming in, so we can have the Avengers movie at the end of the phase. With Phase 4, we've having origins, but it's not leading up to anything big, as Wakanda Forever is going to be the end of Phase 4, and I doubt that's going to have massive implications for everything else has happened so far. So even though we got all these new announcements, it felt like Phase 4 was just a lot of odd shows and odd movies that they wanted to do, but didn't know how to put it in. And we'll see throughout the phases as we get Phase 5 and Phase 6. My opinion on this might change, as they all could link together to the end of Phase 6. However, at the present time, I can't see how it's going to link, how all these characters are going to be setting up from what they've done now in Phase 4 in the later phases. You can see it with some of them, but not all of them. And moving on into each project that Marvel announced. And first off, unsurprisingly, we got another trailer for She-Hulk, as is the next Marvel related movie and show coming out, the TV show that's coming out in August. I expected, and we all expected, that we were going to see another trailer for it, and I feel like this trailer worked a lot more. It didn't feel as goofy as the first one, and I feel like the trailer and the comedy in it worked a lot more compared to the first one, and it did raise my excitement for it as well. And I thought the trailer with She-Hulk and the Hulk together worked really well, them bouncing off each other, and also seeing at the end Charlie Cox as Daredevil, and how they're going to integrate the Daredevil character into the MCU after we've known it so much from the Netflix shows. And then next off, we got the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer, and like most people, I was quite worried about this movie in terms of everything that happened with Chadwick Boseman, his passing, and also the COVID issues that impacted this movie as well. I was wondering how they were going to be able to release this movie and have it work really well, considering everything that happened before. And then we got the trailer, and the trailer hooked me right into the movie, as it went from something I wasn't really that excited to see as in the MCU project, to something that I'm really interested in now. Based on how they done the trailer, as a normal MCU trailer, more like the She-Hulk one, it's more comedic, more fun and energetic, which I like. However, this one, due to everything that's happened, had a darker, somber, more emotional tone, which was needed considering obviously everything that happened with Chadwick Boseman and how they're going to go into this movie. And also seeing the Namor character, and also it looks like the movie going to be around a lot of water as well. And overall, this one really did change my opinions of how I was perceiving the movie. And the trailer did really change my expectations in a sense. Probably not the right word, but how excited I am for this movie. As I know they didn't show a lot. They didn't show any of the plot or any of what's actually happening in the movie. But from the tone, that really did increase my excitement for this. And I thought that was a really good panel that they done. And we also got to see in the trailer the Ironheart character that they're going to bring in to have their own show as well. So I thought that, yes, as I said, it worked really well and that panel was great. Next off, we got a panel as well for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And in addition to that, we got a poster and a teaser trailer with Ant-Man and the Wasp, and also showing MODOK as one of the characters, Jonathan Majors as we know as Kang, and also that Bill Murray's going to be in the movie as well as a character. And this movie intrigues me for the fact also, more due to the villain with Kang the Conqueror. As we know, he's in Loki, and for me, it's more of that crossover and how they're going to cross over. As we know that Kang's more going to be the big villain for the MCU at large. And this movie is really intriguing, and I say this is more for the villain. As we know, Kang the Conqueror was in Loki, and is going to be back in Loki as He Who Remains. And also how this ties in with that movie, or with that TV show, sorry. And how it ties into the rest of the Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 6. As we know that Kang the Conqueror is going to be and going to have a big impact on the rest of the phases. And I feel like this movie is really going to be the movie that kickstarts the whole journey into the multiverse saga. And from what we get in here, we'll have a lot more and a lot clearer understanding of what's going to come. And next off, after Ant-Man and the Wasp, we've got Secret Invasions. And now we know it's due to come out in spring 2023 after it was initially thought it was going to come out in this year. It's got moved to spring 2023. And we also get to see Maria Hill back with Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, and also War Machine's in the movie as well. And it's said to have a premise of coming to Earth and being amongst with everyone in Earth. And it's said that you're not going to know who's a Skrull and who's not a Skrull. So I feel like that's got a very interesting concept, and just waiting to see more information on that and see where they take that. Then next off is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And James Gunn off the bat said that this is going to be the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy story. However, doesn't mean that everyone's going to die in the movie. And it's going to focus a lot more on Rocket Raccoon and his origin story. And I feel like this is for the best, as he is the MC character that we do know the least about. As we don't really know a lot about his past. We know that he was made, but we don't really know anything else apart from that. And that's a good direction to take it. And also how Adam Warlock will end up coming into the movie and integrating as well. And having this one as the last Guardians of the Galaxy, even though it's sad as the Guardians of the Galaxy are really popular, and James Gunn has done a really good job with them, for making them not really known at all to making them really popular, and having the movies as one of the best, especially the first one, having one of the best MCU movies. But I feel like this is a good conclusion to have. You had your trilogy, even though, as he said, not all the characters are going to die, and we could also see them in other movies, like in a Thor movie as well, and it's not like going to be the end of all of the characters in the MCU. Next off is Echo, and we've already seen the character of Echo in Hawkeye, and I thought she was a very good part of the show, and now we're getting a spin-off TV show about her, and we'll also see back again Kingpin, as we did see in Hawkeye, and another return of Daredevil's character as well. And I feel like this is going to be a bit more like the Hawkeye series, in the sense that it's going to be very street violent gangs. It's not going to be like a global scale, and I think that works for the better, as we did see in Hawkeye and with the Daredevil characters. I think those characters work better when it's more street level. However, as it's so far away, we haven't got a lot of information on that, and I'm waiting to see what else they announce about this project. Also, we've got Loki Season 2 coming next summer, and as I said about this in when I was talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I'm more interested in the villain terms, as we've seen Kang the Conqueror and the impact that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania has, and in terms of what Kang does in that movie, will it cross over into Loki? And that's what I'm more interested in terms of the Loki show. Or as is just the multiverse, these are two different versions of Kang, and it won't really impact what's happening in the greater MCU term. So overall, I'm just interested to see how they take it in that terms. We also got the release date for the Marvels, and they've been setting this up ever since Phase 4 started, with WandaVision by showing Maria Rambeau in it and seeing how she gets her powers. Also, we have Captain Marvel that we've seen in her own shows and the Avengers. And most recently in Miss Marvel as well, them setting up the character of Miss Marvel, and the spoiler warning having in the end of Miss Marvel, having Carol Danvers, having Captain Marvel showing up. It just sorts of set up, and I feel like that's the movie they set up quite well, as you've had all of the characters now throughout the movie in the Marvels. We'll see them integrate together for the show. And next off we got Blade, and after the big announcement of Blade in 2019 that Mahershala Ali is going to be playing the character, we've officially got a release date for it now in November 2023. And personally, this is the project that I'm really excited for, as I'm a fan of Mahershala Ali and his content and his other movies and TV shows that he's done before. And we don't really have a lot of information to go off by so far, but I'm excited to see the information that we do see in the next coming months and year to come. And next off we have Ironheart, and we're first going to see the Ironheart in this year's Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever, and I feel like wherever they leave the character in this movie, they'll just pick it up, and in a sense it won't really be her origin story, as we'll see a bit of her origin in Black Panther 2, and it'll just be more of a deep dive into her character. And I'm interested to see about the character, as it is a character I'm not too familiar with, and I want to see how they do it and what direction they take her in. And we also got a release date for Agatha Harkness' show, and as of now, as of today, my excitement and my hype for this show isn't really that high, as I did like her character in WandaVision. I thought she was good and was a good villain in the end. However, due to the fact we don't know anything about this, and we don't know what direction I'm going to take it, I don't really have any big thoughts or any big excitement or feelings about this show. And then next off is the TV show that I'm most excited about, and it's Daredevil Born Again. And from the Daredevil Netflix show, that was so great. Those 4 seasons were done so well, and the fact that we're going to see Charlie Cox in as Daredevil again, but in the MCU is going to be great, as we first get to see him in She-Hulk. My only reservation about this is, I know they won't obviously keep the same violence that it has in the Netflix one, but I hope it doesn't go too MCU with it, as they can find a balance, as they do know that a lot of fans do love the Netflix version of the Daredevil, and I know they wouldn't want to just do that uninjustice and just go 100% away from that. And also another positive about this show is that it's going to be 18 episodes, and it's going away from the traditional Marvel MC Disney Plus formula of having the 6 episodes, and I think this is a great idea, as I don't think the 6 episode structure works as well, as normally as we've had it in the past. The first 2 episodes are good, they set up something, and then something completely happens in the next 2 episodes where was going back in the past to see something, or they change to something completely different, and they're having to rush the ending of it, and it doesn't completely work that well. However, by you having 18 episodes, you got more of a chance to show the backstory of where Daredevil came from in the MCU. You get to do his street level crimes, and also you get to have a bit more time with the story, flush it out a bit more, and don't have to rush the conclusion because you only have 6 episodes. And I feel like this will work a lot better, and Marvel should do this more often with the TV shows. Not saying 18 episodes, but just have longer episodes, and I think this will work quite well for Daredevil. And next off we have Captain America New World Order, and I like the direction they're taking this new Captain Marvel, and I thought by having a TV show then going to a movie works really well. As we've had our Steve Rogers Captain America, then at Endgame we've had him give the shield to Sam Wilson, and I thought a TV show for him, for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, was a good buffer in between, so we can have Sam really think over and have the identity crisis that he did have in terms of what does it mean to be Captain America and everything that comes with it, so that in the movie that we do get, we don't have to deal with all that backstory about him having the responsibility of being Captain America. So we already had that. Even though I didn't think the TV show was that great, I did like the ideas they had behind the show. And moving past it now, on to the next movie. And we can just continue on from what they've had. And we'll probably have the Winter Soldier in it as well. And I feel like this will be another good Captain America movie. And ending off Phase 5 is with the Thunderbolts, and it's a team of villains or anti-heroes coming together, and we don't really have a lot of information on this one, but I feel like this will be a good conclusion for Phase 5, as we have a team of villains together, and this will be our first proper movie of just focusing on them, and I feel like this will lead to something big going into Phase 6, and going into Phase 6, we do have Fantastic Four, and we didn't get any casting news or anything about that, but we know it's going to be in Phase 6, and we're just waiting on more information on that. And also with the other Phase 6 projects, with Avengers Kang's Destiny and Avengers Secret War. And finally we get our Secret Wars Avengers movie that fans have wanted for so long. And it's interesting that they're both coming out in the same years, as when we had Infinity War and Endgame, it was a year after each other. And I'm guessing those two movies will be very connected going into and ending Phase 6. And I'm guessing it's more or less confirmed with having Avengers Kang's Dynasty. It's more like Kang's going to be our new Thanos and our new bad that all our villains are going to have to overcome, as it is the multiverse saga, and Kang's going to take in that spot, and I feel like that's a good direction to take it. Being that he can go through the multiverse and travel the multiverse, the fact that he's going to be the main villain on it makes a lot of sense. So let me know all your thoughts and the announcements that we did get from Marvel this weekend, and let me know down below, are you happy with it, what you're most excited about, and where do you think the direction is going to go into Phase 6.